25, verses 31 through 46, reads like this. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right, and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. It's not really useful to give you a lesson and not expect to do something with it. If I give you information, I'd like you to apply it and use it. So what Jesus is saying in this is he tells them, you are righteous. I want you to come take part in this inheritance. But let me tell you what you did. This is what you did. This is how you took my teaching and put them into action. So we see 6 things in the passage that the sheep did. The first one we see is they gave him food. He says, I was hungry and you fed me. The second one was, I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. The third one was that he was a stranger and they invited him in. Next one was, I need to be clothed and you clothed me. Next we see it says, I was sick and you looked after me. And finally we see it says, I was in prison and you came to visit me. So, reading these and seeing the actions he took, it actually kind of poses an interesting question, as you can see in your paper. So when we read this, ultimately, Jesus teaches that by ministering to others, we're actually ministering to whom? To Jesus. We could be even ministering to ourselves in helping others. It ministers to even those who are onlookers.
Aren't we ministering unto the least of these?
Exactly. When we minister to the least of these, we minister to those, we minister to ourselves, we minister to Christ, and even those who are on the outside looking in. When people say actions speak louder than words, if I see someone acting in a way, it tells me something about his character. So in essence, by acting, we're still ministering to those who are watching.
Is it true that someone doesn't have to be poor to be the least of these?
Exactly. It could be anybody. Because if you think of me, some people will think of someone who doesn't have money or doesn't have a house. It could be the richest person in the world, and you did something for them, and it's still a lesson, it's still ministry, it's still providing the need, whatever it was. So then we want to talk about how this is true. How do we know that we minister to others, minister to ourselves? When I read the scripture, what I really get from it is that when I help people, it actually helps me as well. Not to say that I'm doing something to get help to myself. It's with that Christian character, I have the desire to help people, and in turn, it ministers to me.